Friday, 7 o'clock, which means that normally I would be out walking this time of the night. It's generally the first thing I do when I get back from work. I'll go and pick the dog up from my parents and straight back home, get changed and get out for a walk. Tonight, I can't really be bothered, so I'm here, sitting on the settee, just relaxing. I'm a bit disappointed that I'm not out, but it is chucking it down outside. It's really cold. I don't feel too good either. Not feeling quite myself. So hopefully I will make up for it tomorrow. But for tonight, I'm just gonna have a night off. So when I was making that last little video about how I'm lazy because I'm not going out tonight and I don't feel very well, I did see that in the background of the video you could see my computer, which got me thinking that just again there's something a little bit different I might share with you guys. My setup, I'm not an expert by any stretch of the imagination when it comes to YouTube videos, computers, gaming or anything like that, but I decided that one day when I was off last year, after having my operation, that I wanted to build a computer because I was bored. I had a PlayStation 4 at the time and I was playing a lot of Fallout 4 on the PlayStation, and I was frustrated that the PlayStation couldn't cope with what I wanted it to do, which is a bit daft really. It's not something you'd expect to hear. The game itself played well. It was perfectly fine. However, what I wanted to do with the game was a lot of settlement building. The PlayStation couldn't cope with what I wanted to do, so I did a bit of research online, watched a few YouTube videos, and a lot of people were saying play it on PC. So I didn't. Well, I've got a PC upstairs, another PC. I had a PC which was about 15 years old. I knew that wasn't going to do the job. I had an interest in computers anyway ever since I was a kid, and I hadn't done anything with computers for years and years and years. So I thought, you know what it is, I'm going to build one. So I did. As I say, I'm not an expert at it. I did a lot of research on YouTube and as much research generally online as I could. Used a lot of forums, a lot of websites to gather as much information to help me build this thing. So it took me about 3 or 4 weeks to decide on everything that I wanted to do. And I ordered all the bits, and when they all came, I think I spent about 8 hours building it. I decided to build it about 8 p.m. thinking, yeah, it takes a couple of hours to put it together. 3 o'clock in the morning, it still wasn't quite done. But I didn't go to bed until I'd finished it. I won't tell you how long I spent doing it, but it was a long time. But it was all worth it. I really, really enjoyed the process, and I would absolutely do it again. I spent what I would deem a small fortune, probably the thick end of about £1,500 building it myself. Not huge amounts of money, but a lot when you compare. It's what, 300 quid for a PlayStation, and I've spent 3 or 4 times that price, well 4 or 5 times that price on building a machine just to play the same game. Daft really, but you've got to have a hobby. So yeah, I really enjoyed it. So if you want to see the machine, watch on. If you don't, then switch off now. But anyway, here it is. So this is it. This is my machine. I'll go through it. If you're interested, keep listening and watching. If you're not, then switch off now. If you do switch off now, please do like the video or dislike the video. If you really hate it that much, leave any comments, blah blah blah. But anyway, onto the bit that I like, the interesting bit. I'll talk about the bits that are in it. As I say, this is the first machine I have ever built. I've tinkered before many years ago, but not done anything really serious in terms of building or anything like that. So yes, this is it. What I'm looking at there behind that's the cooler, the Corsair H100i all-in-one cooler. Behind that is the processor, which is an Intel i7 6700K. I think it's overclocked to about 4.6 or 4.7 gigahertz. Underneath that is the graphics card, which is a Sapphire Nitro RX 480 8 gig graphics card. I think that's also overclocked a little bit as well. Motherboard that those sit on is an Asus Maximus Hero 8, which is Republic of Gamers motherboard, which I think is pretty good. Hard drives, we have Kingston HyperX Fury, I think, 240 gig solid state drive. That was what I got first. However, more recently I installed an additional Samsung 1TB solid state drive. I think that's an 850 solid state drive. So yeah, that's all that pretty good stuff. RAM, there's 16 gigs of Corsair Vengeance RAM, which is more than enough for me. However, if I want to, I can increase that to, I think 64 gig is the maximum that the processor and the motherboard will support. I don't think I'll ever do that, but I've got the option to. EVGA 650 watt gold rated power supply, which does me. And the bit that you probably have noticed is the lighting. That is the NZXT Hue Plus lighting system, which is the RGB strips from the outside, and at the back you can see there that is an NZXT Air RGB fan. So that's all pretty good. I'm very impressed with it. Not bad for a first build. You have to excuse my cable management, it's not great, and also the window's quite dirty. It does need a clean, so apologies for that. But as I say, this is a video that I wasn't expecting to make, so I wasn't prepared. Housing all of that is my Corsair Obsidian 750D Airflow. Please do excuse the little torch and the LED dog color on the top. They're what I should have been using right now when I should have been out walking the dog. But hey ho, I'm not. I'm not going to whinge about it any more than I already have. So on to the other bits and bobs. My headset, which is a HyperX Stinger, I think it's a HyperX Stinger headset, which is pretty good. I use it because the computer's downstairs and the missus is often behind us watching the TV, and I need to keep the volume down, so that's how I listen to it. When we move though, the computer will be going upstairs into the second spare bedroom, and that will essentially be my computer room. So that's where I'll do all my filming and one thing and another. Next, the mouse is a Corsair Sabre mouse, I think. RGB mouse as well. Next, the keyboard is a Corsair K30 Raptor, I think. It can go multiple colours on there, but I just like the red because it seems to go with the colour scheme that I've got. My monitor, there's Jack. Hello, Jack. My monitor is an AOC monitor. I can't remember the exact model, but I got it because it is a 144 Hz refresh rate, and it's a FreeSync monitor, which works well, I believe, with the graphics cards, especially if I want to add a second graphics card to the machine. My camera, which I'm not filming on right now, currently I'm filming on my phone. My normal camera, which you generally get my weekly videos on, is just a webcam. It's nothing special, cost me about 80 quid, and it is a Logitech C920 1080p cam. Not brilliant, and I will be in the market for a new camera at some point, but no great urgency, and I'm not prepared to invest a lot of money in it. If at some point I win the lottery, then I might spend a little bit more. I might spend a couple of £100 on a camera. I'm only joking, I'm not that tight. If I win the lottery, I will probably spend most of my money on this sort of gear, building more computers, apart from a holiday, of course, and cars and a house and all of that lovely stuff. So yeah, that's if I win the lottery. Chance would be a fine thing. Incidentally, anybody that's watching this, what would you spend a lottery win on? That's my question for you guys. Answer in the comments below. So anyway, I'm nearly finished, you'll be pleased to know. The last thing I think is my steering wheel, which I use for obviously steering. I have a couple of driving games. One of them is a racing game, one of them is Euro Truck Simulator. Sad as it might sound, I enjoy it. So I've got my steering wheel. Over here I have my gear stick, and underneath, if you excuse the mess, I've got my 3 pedals. And I think that's it, apart from the last thing, which is my microphone, which is a Blue Snowball, which I've had nothing but problems with. I've already had to replace it once. I'm not massively impressed by it. I might be using it wrong, but I just don't know. So yes, that's my setup. Hello again, Jack. And I'm pretty impressed with it. So that was my setup, my computer, my camera, keyboard, mouse and all that lovely stuff. Thanks for watching this video. If you did like it, give it a like. If you didn't like it, give it a dislike. Feel free to leave any comments below if you want, and if you enjoy what you're seeing, feel free to subscribe, and I shall see you in the next video.